The Vanguard newspaper has a story here that says, "We are not responsible for Meilafia's death." UATH.
Thank you, Sheriff. There's been a lot of controversy on Meilafia's death, and I think it demands a thorough examination. I think it demands just at the very least, to clear any form of criminal intent or negligence, as the case may be. We have to do that. Has to be done. The PRO of the UATH, that is University Teaching Hospital Abuja, gave an account, and in his account he says he was well received, and that considering the nature of his illness, because from what I gathered from the doctors, he was rushed to this place. Oxygen saturation was like 60%, so there was the problem already. And he says the doctor placed him on free flow oxygen to increase his oxygen saturation, and he gives an account. Now, the issue of the foreign doctor is the one that I find a bit disturbing, because apparently he had a foreign doctor, or this foreign doctor was consulted, and the PRO says that a foreign doctor who was contacted abroad following the development reached out to the hospital's doctors handling Meilafia's case. As at the time the foreign doctor was calling, the man had passed on. This is different from the account we got from the Middle Belt Forum. Because the Middle Belt Forum told us that the doctors here put up an attitude to the foreign doctor. Yeah. Now, I will need to clear with a very senior doctor the propriety of a foreign doctor talking to another doctor who has a patient right in front of him, and that foreign doctor is far away. Would need to get a medical person to find out the ethics of what the ethics dictate in that kind of case. But obviously there was some attitude.
Right.
Obviously there was something like, you can't throw a foreign doctor at us. We know what we're doing. So they claim that at the time the foreign doctor was contacted, the man was dead. The Middleware Forum said that the man was not dead. Okay. And he says that as at the time the foreign doctor was calling, the man had passed on. The foreign doctor was calling from abroad through the son of the deceased, instructing the doctor who had certified the man dead to go and start pressing the chest again. I'm sure there's a technical word for pressing the chest. The PRO should have used that word. There's a medical word for that, pressing the chest. The doctor now told him, "Oga," you see, now the Nigerian attitude now comes in. This is from the PRO. He says, "Oga, I have been in this practice for over 20 years. I don't know why people always
Why is that important?
throw years at you. You could have been in practice for 20 years doing nonsense, doing jagbajantis and doing the wrong thing. We've seen people highly educated who can hardly you give them a Rubik cube, they won't know what to do with it. We've seen that. So this idea of always, talking about how many years you've been at what you're doing, it doesn't hold water here, but it shows me attitude. And he says, "Oga," he's calling a foreign doctor Oga, who doesn't know what Oga means. He says, "Oga, I have been in this practice for over 20 years. The man is dead. If I like, I can press this chest from now till tomorrow. That would not bring him back to life." Then the PRO says, that is what happened. It's a big mess. A very big mess. The PRO says that nobody asked for 600,000 before administrating whatever. So where did the 600,000 come from? Did it come just from the sky? Somebody must have asked for some money.
You're saying they're lying.
Yes.
Basically.
So and he says, no. She says, no. That is why I'm telling you a clear record of what transpired in this hospital. If you like, you can meet with the wife of the deceased to hear her side. Nobody asked for money. But when he was told that the Middle Belt Forum quoted the wife over the 600,000 allegation, he says that means the woman is not sincere. Why would you use that kind of word? Okay, a PRO should know how to. A PRO should say that let me check the veracity of what you are saying, rather than saying that you're not attacking the woman who just lost her husband. That means the woman is not sincere. She's not sincere because when he was certified dead and the doctor passed his condolence to her, she appreciated them to what I learned. She appreciated them. All said and done, there is a need. This is a very sensitive case. And the police and the health authorities need to come in and let's have a clear idea of what killed this man. He was a high-profile Nigerian, the reasons well known to everybody. And it leads to all kinds of suggestions and
That's right.
suspicions.
That's right.
So that is where I would, this would almost be something like a coroner's case, really. And the police too should step in and let's find out what exactly happened to this man. But then this is Nigeria. I doubt if that will be done. May his soul rest in peace, though.
Okay. Let's go to page 2 of the Punch newspaper. 51 days after, resident doctors vow to continue strike.
I don't know. I didn't even know. You see, there's a reggae song that says, "Who feels it knows it not." Until it comes to you, you don't know.
Until it gets to you.
My housekeeper.
You won't have an idea.
My own housekeeper. Her mother had suffered a stroke in Delta State. They took her to the hospital. The hospitals rejected her, saying the doctors were on strike. So they now took her to a private hospital. As we speak, my housekeeper's family are looking for something in the neighborhood of 300 and 400,000 to treat this woman. So until it gets to you, I didn't even know that I wasn't counting the days. I knew it was long enough.
Yeah.
It is now 51 days. But guess what? Listen to what is going on in your country, Nigeria. Before I make this statement, remember that your Minister of Labour himself is a doctor. Now, the Secretary of the NARD, the Secretary General, Dr. Disu, confirmed that they just had a first meeting. The Punch learned that Monday was the first time Ehanire, that's the Minister of Health, was meeting with the leadership of NARD. What that suggests to me is that the Minister of Labour must have edged him out. There must be some politics between the two of them. If you've had the doctor strike for 51 days and he's just meeting the NARD representatives for the first time on Monday, and he says the minister met with us for the first time on Monday without the presence of the Minister of Labour and Employment. He spoke to us and explained some things to us and said he was working really hard to make sure that issues were resolved. How you are working hard to resolve issues without talking to this party, I don't understand. But that's what he said. Excuse me. We also shared our grievances with him. He listened and he said he will get back to us and make sure that everything is resolved. When asked if the association had faith in Ehanire, that's the Minister for Health, and if the strike will be called off, he said, of course we trust him. And we believe he is going to do as he promised. Like I said, that was the first time he was meeting us and he promised to get back. This is the government that is running Nigeria as at today, September, whatever it is. You've had a strike for 51 days. For 51 days, your Minister of Health is getting involved for the first time. Your Minister of Labour is a medical doctor. If I could fire this government, I'd fire them. If everybody there were my employees, because this is not only untenable, this is unreasonable, and it brings a dark cloud on governance in Nigeria. It brings a dark cloud. For those who know, the elderly ones, they'll be shaking their heads in shame. That how did we ever get to this point? 51 days of strike is on day 49 or so that the Minister of Health is now getting involved.
In my many
and the Minister of Labour is a medical doctor, is a surgeon.
In my many conversations with the resident doctors here on this program, they had told me severally that they would prefer the Minister of Health, Dr. Ehanire, resigns position.
I don't know what
they said he's incapable of what is going on in they said there's a disconnect, because according to them he can't really understand what is going on in the Nigerian health sector because he was never here.
Honest to God, I have a bigger quarrel with the man on whose table the buck stops running, because he is his country. What if a foreign journalist asked him, as is in America now, what are you doing? What at a press conference? What are you doing about the 51-day strike? What explanation will he give?
It's our children. But that's what the Labour minister still said on Monday. That I urge the doctors, my children, to call up.
No. You know, I've seen him try to crack jokes at a committee level when he was invited by, I think, House of Reps or joint committee. And I was trying to crack one joke about Asiwaju and crack this and that joke. What I saw was a completely immature person. He is not befitting of a minister. I've said that boldly. He is not befitting to be a minister. That is my view.
But it was a one-time governor.
I don't care. He's not befitting. He doesn't have the mien. He doesn't have the. So how could you be personalizing things and say, okay, these resident doctors are your children? Is it a family matter? Is it a family matter? The time has come where we need to look at ourselves eyeball to eyeball. And we're also going to hold the man on whose table it stops. We're also going to hold him responsible.
Let me take this important message. Godwin Ayeke says, my in-law died yesterday night after we spent money in private hospital and we rushed again to another. We rushed to mother and child, but no doctor, and she died. That's from Facebook.
Can we just go to the next?
Yes. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. RMAFC, Lagos insists on special revenue allocation from FG.
You won't get it. Not with the kind of representation we have at National Assembly at the top. You won't get it. Lagos needs to brace up and have a concerted plan to work on this project. And what you need people who have the soul of Lagos within them. And when you vote for people, you must vote for people who have the soul. It's not people who are appointed or dropped by some top gun somewhere. You must have a senator. You remember when Saraki was the senator representing Lagos refused to shake his hand. Is that how politics is about maneuvering? You know how to play game, and then you have a burning desire inside you. You have a burning desire. You will not owe your gratitude to one man. You will owe your gratitude to the people, and you have that burning desire within them. We've never had that burning desire, and that's what is happening. So huffing and puffing here is not what's going to happen. The people who represent you in Abuja, they must have the deft footwork and that very strong spirit to get this done. Until that happens, we'll just be playing to the gallery.
I'm going to go to page 10 of the Punch. UK not against vaccines administered in Nigeria as MPHCDA.
They're not against it, but they won't recognize it. Because, in fact, that's why I'm bringing Justin Bell tomorrow from Virgin Atlantic, and I'm also there's a company in the UK that is into tests and so on and so forth called Oprime. I'm talking to their representative from here to clear the air of exactly what are the conditions that the British government will apply to Nigerians who are going to that country. Now, let's face it, we have an emotional attachment to the UK. So somebody said, why single them out? We have that attachment, we can't deny it. In any case, most of us, if you're even going to other parts of the world, are most likely going to travel through the UK. Whatever is said here, the bottom line we know is that if you're a UK citizen and you've been vaccinated twice, you don't need to do a pre-test before you go. That 51,000 naira test that has refused to go down, you don't need to do it. Okay? But if you got vaccinated in Nigeria, you have to do it. I mean, so you might not be against vaccine, whatever, but the truth is not from what I hear, is not. But anyway, we will solve that tomorrow. But you'll hear from the horse's man. Justin Bell is the country manager of Virgin Atlantic. Okay. So he is one. It is his company and the other airlines who will be your first port of call and will tell you whether that plane you're looking at, you can go inside, or you better call the Uber that brought you to the airport so that you can run back again. Right.
But I would say that we caused it because people started buying vaccination cards.
They bought vaccination cards, getting fake this, fake that.
We caused this. We brought this on ourselves.
It doesn't help. Yesterday, I just didn't want to pick it up because I don't want it to appear as if one is picking on the Lagos governor. But he said, and it was reported yesterday, that we don't meet WHO standards. We have not met WHO standards. I mean, some of the things, he was the one who also said we've not vaccinated up to 1%. So all these things are noted. Our people in authority must note that everything you say is noted.
Yeah.
By the time they compel, they say these people are not reliable.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that we test them before we come to our country, and that's the way it goes.
Right.
So the UK representative said that no, it was the executive director of Faisal Shuaib.
Okay.
He said there have been concerns. It says, as you may be aware, the UK government released a new travel advisory that will take effect from this Monday, October 4, and that there have been concerns by Nigerians on how this would affect us. You will learn on Nigeria Info 99.3 tomorrow at 9. Everything will be spelled out to you. We're talking to somebody on ground here, and we're going to talk to somebody from the UK. Okay? So just hold your guard. We'll get a clarification tomorrow morning. Shuaib says that the UK government stated that they have no issues with the vaccines used in Nigeria. You see, they have no issues with the vaccines used, which is the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. Okay? They have no problems. However, I'm sure they have a problem with the processes that are around and some of the derogatory things that our people get into. It's only in Nigeria I've heard so far, maybe it happens in other countries, that you'd want to buy a vaccine certificate. But talking about vaccines, I would still advise all of us, if we have the opportunity to go get vaccinated, you're going to be needing that card in the near future, just like it happened when we were young and we did we got this yellow fever. Polio, and something. And I don't know what the whole agitation against this for. It was called number. Somebody reminded me that it was number. If you look at anybody 50 and above, you're likely to see an arm. You guys are even lucky. If I remember very well, I think the first vaccination they did was with a small knife. Oh, at least this has brought my spirits back. That doctor story upset me.
Yeah,
Sheriff, it upsets me. Because they say, Yoruba say, any balomo is those who feels it knows it not.
That's right.
I don't know if that's the right translation. But thank God for our country. 2023, Utome and Co., they have a new party coming up. Let's examine them.
That's our next story.
That's the next story. I spied it from you. I wanted to beat you to it, so you don't read it. Let me have my story. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
It says that, the story says that 2023, Abdul Fattah, Duke, and Jega, others, they birth what they call the third force. And the first, so there's a new party that they're forming. Those who are the founders of the party are former Governor of Kwara, Ahmed Abdul Fattah, my good friend, Professor Patu Tomi, Professor Tunde Adeniran, the most charismatic governor we've ever had, Donald Duke, Senator Lee Maeba, Usman Bugaji, Professor Atahiru Jega is my man any day. You know, he did very well. Oh, honest to God, he did very well. Professor...
a lot of people would disagree with you on that one.
He did well. That's my view.
Okay.
Ambassador Nkoyo Toyo, Yomi Awoni, Dr. Rosie D. Danladi, and Sadiq Gombe, amongst others. I think he did very well. He must have gotten some things wrong. There's no perfect human being. But I'd rather have a man like that in the driver's seat than what I have to contend with now. But that's a story for another day.
Yes, it is.
What is it? Is it that you'd rather have another...
No, it's a story for another day.
It's a story for another day. But do you agree with that fact?
Which fact? Which facts now? Apart from the third force, do you think we need more forces like this?
Well, yes.
Because I believe that we still have some really brilliant people.
I think first of all, we need to, whether we like it or not, we need to just beg God to give us an alternative. Because before you could say Jack Robinson, this group here will be polluted.
These are not even fresh politicians.
They're not completely fresh, no.
No, they are not fresh. Most of them that I know most of them, and they are not new names.
Well, I think that...
Lee Maiba has been there forever in Rivers.
And
Nkoyo has been there forever. Donald Duke has been there. So, so tell me.
Well, I think again, I'm carried. You see, because how much of an alternative can you really have? Whether you like it or not, you need people who have been on ground before, because it's at the end of the day, power belongs to the people. You need you need persons who have the ability to galvanize. It's not an easy job that they have here. But what just gives me a bit of hope, you must hope for something, or else you're dead, was at the very least, these are knowledgeable people.
Okay.
These are knowledgeable people who I think and I can trust with the capacity to get things done up to a point. How do I translate this one now? There's nowhere that they do not carry chicken at night. No, it doesn't work that way. But what it just means is that this is not as if it's from the Pope, because even in the Vatican there's corruption.
Nobody is a saint.
Nobody is a saint. But at least let's have a knowledgeable.
Nobody is a saint.
Nobody is a saint. Anyway, this is Professor Adenuwan says that you only rescue where they've come to rescue Nigeria, and that we have a disaster in our hands and we need to rescue our country. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt. It can't just be same of same. There's no doubt about that. 50 days of a doctor strike. Your Minister of Health is not involved. Minister of Labour is calling the doctors my children.
Who do you think will rescue the health sector?
Let's go and wake Professor Ransom Kuti.
Because that story here on page 18, the question says, who will rescue the health sector?
That person hasn't come yet. We haven't seen him. Yes, the story is being asked by the Vanguard on page 18, actually, about who will rescue the health sector. And it says, this is what the Vanguard itself is frustrated. It says government is unwilling to fix our broken health system. I agree with that. Over the years, Nigerian trained doctors and nurses have had to take their fates in their hands by seeking greener pastures abroad. This year, the UK government threw its door open for certain categories of Nigerian doctors to join their health system. You need to see the number of Nigerian doctors in the UK. They're doing absolutely well.
Let me tell you the latest figure that came out this morning.
Yes.
353 doctors in 100 days in the UK. 353 doctors.
You're counting doctors, you're not counting nurses.
Nurses are there.
Yes.
In fact, other healthcare practitioners
yes.
are there.
We just focus on doctors, dentists, name it.
They are there.
Going out in groups. The government of Saudi Arabia brazenly conducted an open recruitment. Why? What? There's no brazenly there. You can't stop them from recruiting your doctors. If you don't value them, other people do. Who responded? And police and public outrage. The federal government sent DSS operatives to stop the exercise. Now, this is what the Vanguard says, Sheriff. He says the search for people-oriented leadership in Nigeria must continue. We haven't gotten there yet at all. The leadership we have is dismal. It says we have enough resources to rebuild our health and educational systems, but unless we compel our leaders to stay here and enjoy the same facilities that the ordinary citizens are forced to live with, we may never fix the system. Look at something that I saw just this morning. I overlooked it, but now's the time to say it. What's his name? The Ogun State Governor, Abiodun or whatever. He, of course, he went on pilgrimage to visit the Jagaban, who had told us he would reform the health sector and so on and so forth, and his, treatment abroad. Okay, now you went to visit this man. So what did you then do? There must have been close to 10 photographs, different photographs in the social media of him with the Jagaban in the garden, in the this and in the that. For God's sake, who is conducting this kind of exercise? Do you think we're fools? What is the message you are sending to us? That a Jagaban who has been in politics for 20 years, was the governor of Lagos, hasn't fixed the health facilities, hasn't used his influence to fix the health facilities, and has to go and do a knee surgery in Hopkins, like he said in USA, and then now go and recuperate in the UK and ban the rest of us in the Philippines. 50 days we had no doctors. And you keep doing photo ops with the man from the UK. Those who are arranging these things, the publicity, whatever they are, who are arranging these things, what is the message that you are sending down? We don't think. What is the message that they are sending down? What you're doing, APC people, if you don't know, is not only is it insensitive, it's an insult. And you are causing more damage to the reputation of your party with what you're doing. For God's sake, let's all put on our thinking caps. I have no problem if the man has all the money in the world to go treat himself in John Hopkins or wherever it is. But that he was in power for 20 years, this same party, 20 years, this same man whose associates denied that there was nothing wrong with him. now start doing photo ops with politicians who are visiting. What is wrong with us, Sheriff?
Something fundamental.
What is the essence? There's something fundamentally wrong with us. The man had photographs on social media, he's in all the newspapers. And you know what that means. Let us stop being insensitive to our people. So he has the privilege. And you know what Nigerians think about our politicians when it comes to their monetary status. I don't need to lay that out here. But I'll say to them, well done. Well done. In 2023, we have the last chance to do the needful. If Nigerians want to continue to enslave themselves to people who don't care for them, good luck. But like I said, as they are enjoying themselves, sending us the evidence that, you see, we are lucky people, see what we are doing. I, for example, have a housekeeper to contend with whose mother is lying down in a hospital, and we are looking for 300,000.
We must go now. It's been really one of those days this morning. Thank you so much for coming. Answer me now. He's angry. Okay, let me be going too. Bye-bye.
99.3 Nigeria Info, working to bring you up to speed on today's events.
How do we get everybody on board? How do we convince people that COVID is real, that COVID is not a scam?
We have prominent Nigerians that have died from this COVID, and government has come out to say, yeah, that individual died from COVID. So why are people not believing that? Why would we lie?
When you just eat Gary a lot without adding other things, you can have problems with the eyes. Especially when Gary isn't properly processed.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.